Hey guys, it is Fairy Grace. What is bugging you? I know that a lot of people kill spiders. Spiders in Spanish, as our youngest son knows. A lot of people automatically kill spiders because they're creepy, they're gross looking, they're freaky, and they just look like they're up to something not good, right? We all do it. It's kind of like instinctively, like, spider, where? But at our house, we are on a farm. We love to be outdoors, and we kind of have a rule that we don't kill spiders. If you would come on this porch right now, which some of my girlfriends are like, I will not be on your porch anytime soon. We have some crazy looking spiders on our porch and our plants. But again, we don't kill them because if you study spiders, they're killing all the other insects because of how much spiders eat a year. If we did not have the spiders doing their job, we would be saturated in so many insects and gnats and flies and all these creepy things that we would not be able to see in front of us. So please do not kill spiders. There's also a very small chance that it's even poisonous. Most of them will just feel like a bee sting, if they'll even bite you at all. Now again, I hope that in years later someone doesn't pull up this video because I've died from a spider bite, which I know can happen, but until that happens with me, I'm still going to be an advocate for bees and spiders, even though they have a bad rep. Even snakes. I am not a fan of snakes. I actually freaked out when my friend, she had a black snake that kept coming in her house, and she had small dogs, so she was afraid. But the problem was she lived in the woods and she had so many rodents that the black snake was trying to help her out because she had a feast of rodents, and the snake was taking care of the problem. But the problem was the husband would take this gigantic black snake when he found it in the house. He drove miles upon miles. Well, black snakes have a honing device, and it actually came right back to the house. And I think the creepiest moment they had was when they were in their house, and they lived in, I forget what it's called, with the big stoops, chalet. They lived in a chalet, and because they had small dogs out in the woods, they had a doggy door. And one day they're in the living room, and they see the doggy door, ding, 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 fluttering back and forth. But her two dogs are right beside her. So she's looking, what in the world is trying to come in? Well, Lord and behold, the black snake came in through the doggy door. So of course I would be freaked out too and probably lose my mind. Well, and then that point, then the husband goes, and unfortunately that black snake was decapitated. I guess it was a violation. You can't come in doggy doors or off with your heads. But I remember gasping at the story at 2 points. Gasping at the story when she said it came in through the doggy door. All of us now are going to freaked out by our doggy door. If you don't have a bunch of rodents, you shouldn't have a problem. They're just going in there to eat and take care of a problem. But then I also gasped with tear-filled eyes that he lost his head, that he died. He was just doing his purpose in life. Listen, some of you, people are not going to be happy with you for what your purpose in life is. Maybe they think it's creepy. Maybe it's encroaching on what they want to do, or maybe they're just flat out jealous or envious. There's two different reasons that sometimes people are jealous just because you have and you're doing and they're not, or they're envious because they wish they were doing or had what you have. And we have to check our hearts every day, myself included. We have to check our hearts and not kill things just because they look creepy and they're up to something bad, but truly know their heart, truly know their purpose. Again, if we didn't have these snakes being creepy through doggy doors and taking rodents, we would be saturated in them. And we know that, well, we think the bubonic plague came from the rats, but it really didn't. It was the little fleas on the rats, if you ever watched Ratatouille. But know someone's purpose before you squash them, before you try to get rid of them, before you exterminate them. Know that what their purpose is and their calling is may not be something you understand, appreciate, or can respect. And then at that point, what did our mamas tell us? If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. And or as a mother with teenagers, her advice always is don't say it, pray it. You see, people don't have to hear all the garbage and all the yuck. Sometimes you can just talk to him upstairs because he's the best one to handle it. And check your own heart. And there have been so many times in my life where I'm like, you know what? I'm going to stop and I'm going to pause. Is this me or is this them? And it doesn't really matter at the end of the day if it is me or if it is them that needs to change or fix or whatever. I still can always change. I still can always fix. You see, what do they say? 90% is, no, 10%, 90% is what happens to you, 10% is how you handle it, or vice versa. But basically is, yes, a lot of things are out of your control, but if you focus on what you can control, you won't have that overwhelming feeling. And sometimes when I feel like my life is out of control or there's people with craziness, I have to say, okay, fairy, at the end of the day, is that their purpose? Is that their calling? Is that creepiness just a big picture of what is meant to happen? Or if it's not, like, no, that's not okay. We can scroll through Facebook and all of us can look at the same thing and have a different perspective and a different belief or a different thought. But at the end of the day, you have to say, what can I change? I don't have to accept that, or I can accept that. Maybe I'm just not in my right heart. Or maybe, no, I can accept that because this is my true heart. Whatever it is, and this has nothing to do with political things. This is just having to do with you being a better human, you loving thy neighbor. Does it mean you accept or whatever, but accept them as a human. So that sounded contradictory, meaning you don't have to accept certain things, but you can still accept them as a human, that they have a feeling, that they have a purpose, like that creepy spider that you're ready to smack out of here. And in closing, we got this for our oldest son because we have flies for some reason when work was done in our oldest son's bedroom. And we try to get rid of the flies. Well, I will kill a fly, but I really try to save them first. I give them some opportunities. I'm like, okay, I'm opening this door. I'm removing this screen. I'm going to try to guide you out. And sometimes they don't listen. And then at that point, they will go to see their maker. But I do try to save them and spare them first because they also have a purpose, to get rid of decay stuff and then to also drive me crazy on food that I will throw out if it lands on it. But here is a natural solution. Talking about our surroundings, it's kind of creepy, it's kind of odd, it's kind of something you'd see maybe in a tropical garden, but this is a trumpet plant that I bought from a businessman. Support your local business women and men. And this eats bugs. I don't know if our cameraman Charles can get a closer look at this, but this does not discriminate against bugs. Its purpose is to destroy bugs. So whether you are a spider or a fly or a gnat or a mosquito, yes, hurry up and eat more mosquitoes. I don't have sympathy for mosquitoes, though they do have a purpose. They go inside there. And then if you would actually, it's kind of gross, if you would crack one of these trumpet plants open and remove their insides, you would see the carcasses of all different kinds of bugs that have gone down there. So this is just to show you that everything we need on this planet, I am a firm believer of this. The Native Americans were really honoring of this, and it is in my heart and my belief as well through creation, that everything on this planet there's a solution, because every single thing we need to have a successful, wonderful, joyous, safe, plentiful life is on this life that was created in masterful detail. So this plant was actually created to eat bugs. So I don't have to kill anything. I can just leave it up to his purpose. So what's your purpose? Honor someone else's, honor yours, do what you're meant to do. Life is too short to say no to what your calling and your purpose is. I'm Fairy Grace, and you are amazing. And so are you, trumpet plant.